Hi everyone, welcome here to a special edition of Nearshore News Desk for Nearshore Americas. I'm Kirk Laughlin, and joining us is Peter Ryan from Datamonitor and also Ovum. He's the worldwide BPO call center analyst there, also one of the keynote speakers at the IMT Contact Center Forum here in Mexico City. And we thought we'd get a few moments with Peter to talk about the opportunities some of these emerging economies in Latin America have with nearshore outsourcing, attracting buyers for BPO. And I guess the first question I want to find out from you, Peter, is how do providers get more traction in the U.S. market? What are some of the key things they have to do?
I think, Kirk, there's a number of things that they need to do, but probably the most important is selling the concept of offshoring itself. Now, when you're a provider and you're trying to sell to a U.S. business that might be facing tremendous political and consumer pressure to house a contact center onshore within the domestic confines, it's going to be tough to try and get them to sell, to go over into Mexico, into Costa Rica, into Panama, Colombia, Honduras, etc. So I think really developing the idea around offshore as a concept, as a good concept that's going to save money and increase quality is going to be key.
It's a very interesting concept because for those of us who've been in the outsourcing industry for a while, it's almost like it was 10 years ago where we thought it was well known. But if I'm hearing you correctly, that there's still a lot more room to grow here to help establish the kind of this is a viable industry.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, every year we do a survey of 200 contact center managers around the world in, well, I should say in the Western developed markets. And one of the things that really hit home for me was the fact that offshore as a business model is probably the lowest terms in ranking relative to other means of saving costs within enterprises right now. And the second thing that really struck me in our survey was the fact that when you take a look at the companies that say that they have plans to go offshore or not to go offshore, 1/3 of companies said no plans definitively. Very concerning. When you look in Australia, New Zealand, North America, and Western Europe, when you get 1/3 of companies saying no plans to go offshore, that's a real chunk of money.
So say I'm a provider in Bogota, Colombia, or Honduras, or Guatemala, or even El Salvador, Nicaragua. What are those messages those economies have to, those emerging countries have to be thinking about?
I think there's a few messages. Number one, stability. Stability is crucial. If you're going to house a multi-million-dollar investment in any type of an urban center outside the domestic confines, you've got to prove that economically and politically there won't be as any disruptions. Second point, price. Price is crucial in terms of being able to show that there's going to be some arbitrage in terms of commercial real estate, in terms of wages, in terms of benefits, very important. And third is that quality imperative. The quality that can be derived from a quality agent in an offshore location to make sure that the end user back home in the US or Canada, Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand is going to walk away pleased with the interaction they've had, and they're going to come back the next time to the same company.
One more question, Peter. If I'm a U.S. customer, a buyer, trying to figure out how do I make sure I don't end up going somewhere we're going to run into real scale issues, that I'm going to suddenly find out I can't get the personnel I need to? What do you need to be thinking about on the front end? What questions can you ask?
The first question you've got to ask, Kirk, whether it's to the government agencies or to private real estate consultants, is am I going to find the scalability up front? First of all, what's the addressable market that you're looking for? How many people are you looking to house in the contact center? Be very clear about your needs and your long-term projected needs as well. It's no good going into a location where you need 500 seats and you're able to find them. If you're going to ramp up to 1,000, then it's going to be difficult to find another 500 quality people. This is something you need to know at the outset.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining us today,
Anytime,
Peter.
Kirk.
All right.
Delighted.